Brentonton because I'm twice as nice, and this is the Drop Hip Hop Uncensored, your ultimate hip hop show, La Mzansi Africa. Today, I have with me rapper, performer, father, and brand ambassador 2leeStark. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Just a bit tired, but moving, rocking, getting there. Yeah.
Thank you so much for pulling through.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, I know that you have quite the following, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, if a stranger were to come up to you, how would you describe yourself to them?
Same like Papa. Yeah, that's number one again. But no, man. Honestly, I just think I really love performing. Like I've always wanted to perform. I've performed for a good 10 years, 11 years. Always been on stage in one way or another. And I guess I found my feet like on the musical side of it. Yeah, I used to be like an actor in high school. So
you used to act?
Yeah.
Untitled Drama Club.
Yeah. Directed and acted in Sophia Town. I was like our senior school player that we took to raps.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I kind of didn't carry on with that kind of sort of passion, but then I figured with this music shit it would be my way to sort of get back into performing and being on stage. Yeah.
Okay, now you are a lover of music, right?
100%.
When did you fall in love with hip hop?
It's actually pretty crazy because I think I've always loved hip hop, but I wasn't cognizantly registering the fact that I really it's
the
hip hop.
specific
It was
genre.
just music, yeah.
Okay.
Because I really gravitated obviously towards kwaito, but I mean that's sort of like a sort of spoken word poetry / rap sort of vibe as well. So I was always into it. My favorite album was TKZ Halloween. But then later on, I got a friend of mine who, when I was in grade 8 at Greenside High, because that was my first high school, he gave me Jay-Z's Blueprint 2 to listen to. And then ever since that day, I'm just
you're sticking with it. I
feel like this is it. I get it now.
So you getting it led to you pursuing music for 11 years. Not even at that time. At that time when I was young, obviously it was never in my head that I could rap. You just enjoyed it.
I just enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then grade 9, I started freestyling, but always just didn't.
It was just like a hobby.
Haphazardly, yeah. Because I don't know. I just find it easy to freestyle. I can do it on the spot and stuff, whatever. So I used to do it a lot at break time and stuff like that. And then in my second year of varsity, that's when I actually recorded my first song. Yeah.
What was your first song that you recorded?
It's called Like What. So I don't know if you know an artist called Melody Jones.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so I was dating her at the time actually. So we literally, I was like, oh my god, this would be so cool if
let's
girlfriend at the time,
yeah.
Actually did a song together. And that was the first
That's
song
pretty
that
cool.
I recorded. Yeah.
So tell me.
Quite wild actually.
Very wild. And speaking of wild things, I want to know what's your secret ingredient when making music?
Right now, I don't have one, man. I just make music.
So you just wake up and you know what?
Yeah. It's a lot I'm a not a chakra guy, but a big believer. It's funny because when we were speaking off air, yeah. But I'm a big believer in energy. You know? So whenever I approach a song, I don't necessarily approach I want to make a hit or I want to make this. I'm really in this point in time in my life.
Whatever energy
what
that
energy
you're feeling.
can I? Yeah, 100%. I mean, Off Boys, for example, that's one of the songs I recorded. We did it in 45 minutes, full song totally. I literally just woke up one day, I heard the beat, and then I told the guy, I'm like, yo, you've got 30 minutes to get here, because he had a mobile studio. And then he's like, are you serious? I'm like, hell yeah. Got there in 20 minutes, and then took 45 minutes, and then finished.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That fast?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, sometimes it can take me 2 days to make a song. Sometimes it can take me 30 minutes literally. But I'm always prepared though in studio.
For any situation.
Yeah, I don't do that whole studio thing Hans, liquor, we, let's chill out first and create the vibe. Let that lie, I don't really fuck with that shit. When I go into studio, I treat it like a job.
Your office.
Yeah.
You're not there to play games.
100%. If I've got 10 hours, you fuck around. Obviously, smoke, drink, whatever. You do whatever you do. But in those 10 hours, I need to come out with at least 4 songs. If I'm really...
You're very productive, man.
I try be. You're very,
very productive.
Not a lot of people have studio time's even a blessing for me to get it, or some people obviously have their own studios. Not a lot of people have their own studios either. So whenever I am inside a studio, I take full advantage of it because, you know, like, I'm lucky to be making music and to be making a living off, well, amongst other things, actual music as well. So, yeah.
And speaking of making music, you made the game's EP, and it had a lot of attraction. What went into making it? Like,
that was really my
first... your energy, because that was like the first...
it was my first project. Yeah, it was my first project as an individual. So I've been working, like, you know, quite a bit before with other people, and I think I was always afraid to make my own project because I'm just like,
what
how
scared
would it be received? And like, it's very nerve-wracking for me, you know, because like I'm a very like a dependent person, like, on people, on my friends and stuff. So that's why I've always had like collab EPs and like one song here by myself, one song there. Yeah. So like games is really like me actually saying, okay, cool, like it's really time for me to like establish myself as an individual artist, and I think it really sort of came through as a teaser, and it's been a good segue for the next EP that dropped in the album that's coming through as well. It got me like in good stand. I hate listening to it though now.
Why?
I hate myself, like that version of myself. I hadn't found my voice yet. I was still just a good artist, like just purely based on talent, that's all. I wasn't actually like finessing, and you couldn't hear that it's me.
It's you.
You know, yeah.
So would you say that was like, you know, when babies learn how to walk, that was like your first step?
Yeah.
So now you feel like I can run. So
yeah, 100%. 2017 I think was like me going through the transition period. I needed to find who I am right now. And you see it with the music that's coming out, you know, some of the collabs as well that happened. Like, you can see, like, I'm very comfortable. Like, I don't think maybe only doing from volume for formerly Story T. Maybe he's the only guy who would make me nervous on a song.
I feel like he would criticize you bar for bar. He's that one guy who would criticize you like bar for bar.
But it's crazy though, you know, like I won't say a relationship with him per se, but like, you know, I obviously confide in him and look for his approval a lot and stuff. And when I did get it finally, because I'd been asking him for a long time, like, yo, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Yeah. So when he finally did it, and he did this thing called Freestyle Fridays, and when he invited me, I was like, oh my god, you know, finally. And then I actually did the freestyle, and then like it went like viral. Then I was like, oh my god, you know, fuck, he must be happy. I'm happy. I hope he is happy. You know, yeah. So that was like a really good feeling of someone who you really look up to musically, actually saying like,
approve,
you can
actually
compete, you know, yeah.
And I don't think it's much of approval, but it's just him giving you your flowers while you're still, you know, 100%. Rising into the star 100%. That you are going to be. Hopefully, now I want to ask you a personal question. Do you rap or sing in the shower?
I do all of it in the shower. Rap, sing. Like, sometimes I even just take my phone into the shower.
Into the shower?
Like, listen to all of the music I've been making. Because, like, obviously, after studio, like, I'm the type of person who doesn't wait to get a song. Like, as soon as it's done, I want it.
You want to
like,
hear it now.
I have a mix or a version or whatever, like, at a later stage. But, like, every single song I've ever done in any session, I get it, like, same time. Some producers really hate that because I'm stepping on their toes and stuff.
Yeah, because like you can't expect it
now. Like final mix, final master. Yeah. But like, yeah, luckily I've found a team that I recorded. It's basically, I call him my 40. His name is Dexter. Like, for me, he's like my version of what 40 would be. And he's always like, yo, bro, I can't send this shit right now. But he always ends up sending it anyway, you know, because he knows that
you need to.
So I'm always bumping that shit in the shower, 100%. Yeah, I'm always bumping music.
Okay, now you are one person who's had a lot of opportunities. You are brand ambassador for Jägermeister. You're brand Ray-Ban, Bona, a lot of brands. Yeah. So how do you?
It's because I'm a safe brand.
you don't have tolerance.
Like, people aren't afraid. They're like, ooh, what if you?
You pretty chill, man. Very calm and collected.
I like to, yeah.
Now I want to know, how do you seek out such opportunities? Do you put yourself out there, or does the universe's energy come to you?
It's a mix of both, man. You know, I think there's not a lot of palatable artists like in the country. So you get a lot of like rough artists, or like a lot of artists that I won't say don't care about their brand, but they're very stubborn in how they move. You know?
They don't treat themselves as brands, but as musicians.
Yeah, they're more musicians than they are brands. And luckily, you know, I graduated from Vega. I studied brand communication. So I sort of taken that sort of ethos and thinking and said, how do I put my best foot forward while not compromising who I am as an artist? And I think that's why some of the brands that I have worked with have then sort of gravitated towards me, because for all intents and purposes, I'm a relatively clean brand in inverted commas. So that like really gives me the opportunity and the legs where some people are like, yeah, but his following is not that like high. But then you'll be like, but he's always rotating on TV, and he always dresses decent, and he doesn't get into trouble, and he's actually a present father. You know, so like, you know, so there's like good things that are there that are actually substantiating my case, and the energy, I guess, as well. Yeah, I mean, like I've been very lucky with all of the brands that I've had the opportunity to work with. Even some relationships that are like not long, like some brand relationships.
They have that longevity of right now with the pause, but in the future,
we're gonna like with Jägermeister, for example. I'm not necessarily their brand ambassador anymore, but they always reach out whenever they need to as well. So like everything has served its purpose.
Because your name is also with their brand, like on their list of artists and brands that they've worked with. Your name is there. That's how I got to also see that. Oh wait. Actually, you big.
No, well, like, I'm big, but yeah, I'm alright. I like to keep those relationships. I don't like severing ties at any point in time for anything at all. I always want to make sure like the door is always open and the energies are always good, because I never know like where you'll be in the next 2 years as well. And like brand managers move around a lot, etc. So like the network you build now really is, you know, setting the base for when you're actually successful. It's not like you're waiting for that moment to come. It's sort of like in the making for the longest time. So yeah, kind of have to move with stealth.
I love how you have your hands in a lot of pots, because we're at a time where you need to have your hands in a lot of pots to survive, not just as a musician, but as just a human being in our economy. Now, for instance, in the industry, what would you change? Or what would you want to be different? Because for a lot of artists could literally be doing music for like a year and then make it. Then artists could be doing music for like 11 years, then make it. Or 15 years plus and only just give up. So what's the one thing that you would change that, you know, causes the difficulty of our industry?
Yeah. I think I'd like to teach South Africans how to listen to music. I know that sounds very pompous, but we have a follow culture, you know, and people who are breaking away from that I really admire. For example, like Aries, that break away from follow culture, like the type of listeners I would like ideally. Like most of the time in South Africa, an artist only really becomes big like either after a cosign or after a put on. There's like
there's always someone putting them on.
Yeah, in hip hop, it's like you rarely find and I guess in music in general, like artists that are just discovered, like the same way we discover artists in the States. Like I remember for me, my breakthrough moment as a younger person, I'm not to reveal how old I am, but when Drake first dropped, it was like, oh shit, we discovered this nigga, like it's crazy. Then when Kendrick dropped, it was like, oh shit, like he didn't come up from anywhere or do anything, you know. Well, obviously I'm Drake with Lil Wayne, but by that time he had already blown up from
we already knew his music,
2, etc. Yeah. So I haven't seen that a lot in South Africa. I think like it happens like once in a while in patches. MT and Nasty C are really good examples of that, you know, from like Cantar and stuff.
But my thing is, those are the only two. Do you know how many niggas and females are in the hip hop industry? It's like
100%.
Damn, 2 out of that whole, you know, that whole
like
lot
really established themselves and really made it. Yeah, you know. So that's kind of like the one thing I think I would change, and it would make everything else easier in terms of monetizing music, in terms of more local music being played, because that's another thing as well. Like we have so much music, but it's not played, and then we get upset. But also like, are you guys as fans actually advocating for more local content, or do you get more excited when Drake drops a new album now, and then or Rihanna drops a new album
now? You pre-order.
You know, you pre-order that shit, but you don't actually like support the South local African shit. Yeah.
So would you say that changing the ears of the market, basically, because those are the listeners and stuff. Because one thing I've also noticed is that people will hop on when somebody trends, not necessarily because they're good, but because they're trending. Yeah. So you want to catch onto that vibe and hop on and then just.
But I mean, it's also because like I look at social media as well sometimes, and I'm just like, when obviously you're just scanning everything, you just like a lot of people in South Africa also like don't humble themselves to the musicians and the artists. And I don't, once again, sounds pompous again, but when I unpack it, like we have a lot of people that won't like dap you on social media, and that's the narrative. Unfortunately, it's where it's running on music. But when they see you in real life,
it's like, hey,
yo, I love your stuff, and I'm like, yo, but you have access to me. You've never actually told me. You've never sat me down. You've never been like, oh, that's actually my jam. You've never said it on social media. But when you see me physically, that's the one time you want to be like, yeah, no, dog.
I love how uncensored this is, because it also brings me back to, there was one of the episodes that we dropped, ne? On the drop.
Check the battery over there on this 200 of yours. Yeah. If you're moving, Anyway, you can carry on. Just like a FYI.
This is gonna go on.
It's fine. You can rock. I don't mind, man. I don't mind. But yeah, you were saying.
One of the artists that I was talking to had a collaboration, a feature with one of the bigger artists. And when the song dropped, the bigger artist didn't promote the song. He didn't tweet about the song. Even in the music video, he was late. They had to edit him into the song, and you know what I mean. So it brings me back to your point of saying that they'll see you on TV or on Twitter they'll see your music on all platforms, and not give you props for it. But when they see you in real life, it's like,
yo, bro, yeah.
Dude.
So that's just like a whole ecosystem.
So how do you deal with that? With because there's a lot of people in the industry that do that.
Look, I've sort of been lucky, I guess. Like, everyone I've worked with has treated me with mutual respect. So when I first worked with Les, 100% complete amazing. He's my mentor basically as well. He's like completely chilled. Completely cool, such a lovely gentle brother. And when you come into a studio, you don't come in with reputation, you're coming in to make music
with skill,
with reason. Same thing as well. One of my favorite lyricists in the country. When I worked with him, I actually just did a song now for my album with him. That was like the coolest session, and he treated that song like it's his song. Like,
you respect your craft as well.
100%. He fully committed to it. So I don't really get that as much. There are a couple of like people that would be weird sometimes, like bigger stars, like,
don't name drop.
I really don't care. They know I'm a very
okay, name drop.
Like, for example, myself and Casper, we had, I guess, a bit of friction, I guess, over something that I laughed about, and then that energy became weird. But generally speaking, me and him were always, like, cool, and that's how I try and maintain those relationships. And then a few people that actually, like, from the jump, are just weird. I'm just like, well, okay, whatever.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Now, back into you. You perform with a live band.
Yeah.
Called the Four Boys.
Yeah.
What's that relationship like? Because I remember the first time I heard one of your songs, it was like, Four Boys said, ooh.
Yeah, Off Boys, yeah. They're cool, man. I've always been around talented people. I've been lucky. So my business partner and one of my best friends, Emmanuel, he sort of, because I came to him, I'm like, yo, bro, I really want to do this music thing. Can you give me like 20,000 and I'll pay you back? I want to shoot a music video. And then he was like, no, dude, like, let's build this thing properly. Together. And since then, everyone who's been in our network has been so instrumental, but also so good at what they do, that we've kind of, always had the luxury of having a full band. We've always had the luxury of having a videographer. There's a guy called Dash from Scout Studios, one of the best photographers in the country. He used to also be Ricky's photographer at a certain point in time. He's helped a lot with the creative direction. There's a lot of layers and elements that we already had that other artists didn't have. Because
now that I think about it, I'm like, yo, a whole band. And I'm visualizing it in my head like, damn, you take over the stage when you perform. So you perform with a live band called the Off Boys. What's that relationship like? Because I can imagine you guys, when I see band and imagine stage, I'm seeing all prepped drums and and you know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing concert like Coachella. I'm seeing that type of vibe.
No, we've been really lucky. Me and my business partner Emmanuel. He sort of came with like a full like team of creatives. It's crazy because he's in a church actually. So like, obviously church.
There's bands.
So he took all of that energy and sort of believed in me, and we sort of fleshed that out into like a full 360 sort of artist thing. where you have the music taken care of, then you have the live elements taken care of. Then there's a guy who we work with, Dash. He's a very good creative. Used to shoot for Ike as well. We have the visual element taken care of, and we really sort of set up my show to fit into festivals more than like clubs and things. So that's really helped a lot.
So then, do you perform in clubs?
Yeah, I perform anywhere. I'll perform in your bedroom if you pay me. Literally. If you pay the booking fee, let's go, man. As long as you take care of the booking fee and the rider, we can rock. The one time we performed, it's very crazy actually. It's like no one knew me, which was the fucking wildest thing ever. But I went to Limpopo for a gig. Could not believe it. It was the opening of a mall. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? But yo, we rocked out. It was hard as nuts, but we rocked out that day as well. So yeah, I will never forget.
And I'm sure someone in Limpopo remembers you right now.
I'm sure, yeah. When they see it, they'll be like, oh, this, yeah. It's like the opening of a mall. Like no one cared about anything. I was like, oh my God. I think that's the hardest I've worked to like keep a crowd entertained as well.
And you did keep them entertained.
Yeah. We did in the end.
No, that's what's up.
It was a jam.
Now, you have been on some of the most greatest nationwide stages. Gerata in July, Opikopi, and the list goes on and on and on. Which performance stands out for you, like till this day?
Till this day? Performing at AKA's Orca show is a special show. He knows. I think like he's one of the greatest rappers. He's one of my idols musically. It's very weird. Like South African people get scared to say stuff like that. Artists always be like,
it's
what?
The hate. It's the hate.
I don't know. I think maybe it's because like you're right next to me. I can't imagine, for example, like Drake being like, yeah, J. Cole, it's one of my heroes, or whatever. Like,
yeah, it's weird.
But anyway, that show was really, really special to me. Also, just because Pretoria was so receptive. I think it was just like such a happy space that everyone was just like really excited about South African music being celebrated. But the best performance I think I've ever had was Genesis All Black 2018 or 2017.
The one in Brum.
Well, it happens at different places.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this one in particular was by Newtown, opposite Carfax. That show was really crazy, like wild.
So wait, what? I want to get into your personal space now. I get it's uncensored.
Yeah.
What are your 2 worst habits?
I don't read. Number
really?
one. Well, let me not say.
You're so well spoken though.
Thanks.
Like it's a shocker. Like it's so even when like we talk like you okay.
Thanks. It's very weird. I hate reading. So I do read, but I hate it.
Okay.
So like I've been trying to coach myself to actually like read books again. Actually, I read who's this guy? Football star.
Tico.
Yeah, I read Tico.
The Curse of Tico.
Yeah, The Curse of Tico. Yeah. That was like the first book I read in like a year. But like I'm always online or I'm always reading something online as well. So I guess that's how I sort of, keep a fair or up to date in any case. But I think, that's one terrible, terrible habit. And then another bad habit, I'm lazy. Like to do, I procrastinate.
And I know you don't wake up.
I'm sorry.
Because you wake up to the day
when I pass out, I pass out. Yeah, but I procrastinate a lot when I hit a mental block. I have a very weak like sense of driving through. So I'll then just sit until it's like the last minute. Then I'll be like, okay, shit, I gotta come up with something, for whatever this. Excuse me. For whatever the situation is. So yeah, those are very 2 terrible, terrible habits that I'm trying to fix every day of my life.
Speaking of fixing every day of your life and being an actual good father, you're a father to a beautiful baby girl.
Yeah, man, Gia's amazing. It's pretty crazy. We didn't know, myself and the mother didn't know that we were pregnant until 8 months and 1 week.
I love how you say we were pregnant. We're thinking, take notes.
But we are, it's just not in my stomach, but I'm still pregnant, I still am. But yeah, so we found out about Gia like 8 months into the pregnancy. And I won't lie, it was very crazy because obviously I'd never been a father and like I'd never thought I'd be a father. So everything just sort of, happened in like a whirlwind, and I had like a month to mentally prepare myself. And I think that sort of put me on autopilot, and I never really got to enjoy being a father. You know, the process of becoming one, but it's been so cool now. Like I'm really enjoying being a dad. You know, it's really dope. You know, like waking up, because sometimes she stays with me if she's not staying with the mother. Me and the mother are not together anymore. Like waking up and when she is in my arms, or whenever she is with her mom and I'm there, it feels like this is such a warm sort of family sort of moment, and we can find that common ground regardless of what the status of our relationship is. So all of those things are really cool that I'm really starting to enjoy now about actually being a father and accepting it and being like open about it and stuff. Well, I've always been open really, but I mean now I'm speaking more about like the things
fatherhood.
I enjoy. Yeah. And it's really dope seeing like a little human, like a small version of you, like growing up. You know?
Like
yeah, like
that's
you've got
me.
your own mannerisms and your own traits, and she's so well spoken now. Like the mom is doing such a brilliant job at raising Gia a lot. I mean, we raise her together, but obviously she spends majority of the time with the mom because we're separated. So like you just see like so much of this child coming into fruition, and it's so cool to see both parts of it. You know? Like she's got my sass, but she's got her mom's like calmness and warm and like really endearing nature, you know. So it's like cool to see those things. Like
I must say, I love the fact that you guys can co-parent and you can speak so highly of her, of Gia's mother, and her raising your guys' daughter as well. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. That mom's is crazy. She's amazing. If there was anyone who I could have picked to have my first child, it's definitely her. Like,
oh, that's great, man.
Yeah, I'm not angry. There's no like, oh, I hate that bitch or whatever. You know what I mean? Fuck. You know, like, you know, people.
It's not like a hip hop drama.
Yeah, no.
Because a lot of people would expect. A lot of people will expect the love and hip hop drama. From rappers with children or rappers that are married, because they don't understand that you guys are also human.
Yeah, I feel you. It's really difficult, you know, and because we weren't ready for Gia, it's partially part of the reason why we ended up breaking up, because I just think we just stopped seeing eye to eye, and I was still busy trying to pursue my career, which I am obviously, and she's so supportive of that now. But you didn't get that sort of vision and clarity before, you know. So it's funny now that there's less drama even when we're in a relationship, and that's how things work sometimes. Sometimes I don't even think it's like big mama drama or baby daddy drama or whatever. I just think it's a communication thing. Like let's speak it out, let's have it out, let's figure out where we're going, and then hopefully you'll gravitate towards a common goal being achieved.
Okay, now before we wrap it up, I want to talk about what we can expect from you, because I know that you recently did a collab for your album with Les, with Reason, with Iffy.
Iffy's song is his song.
Oh, it's his song.
Really
I saw that you guys were working together. I'd Wrap It Up.
Yeah, it was from Rap It. It's crazy. Yeah. From that battle, we ended up forming such a good sort of friendship, and he's such a good kid, man. He's fucking amazing. Very driven, very talented. His Godspeed brand is doing amazingly as well, and so all of that positive energy, we really like channeled it into
into the song.
Yeah, into a song, and then he sent it through to me, and I literally liked it. I think like the next day, I was like, "Yo, bro, it's fucking hot." Then we jumped on the shit, jumped on it, waxed it. There's another song that I want to do with him now as well. Hopefully, I'll get the chance to do it. But it's just like every day, it seems like a song is being added to the album, which is very bad.
Because the thing is, you're not going to know which songs to keep and which songs to take out.
We've done about 50, I think. 50 or so records. I still have like another 4 to record.
How are you going to narrow it down, though?
I don't know. I don't know what the plan is.
Maybe
but I do know that
projects.
The music, I do know, maybe.
to different projects.
But I feel also like I'll be in a different space when I make my second album, you know. So I don't know. And I've found like a sound now that you haven't heard at all from me coming into the album. So it's very exciting. It's very, very exciting. I think I've got a really, really cool fucking dope sound for South Africa.
Can we also expect visuals from your album?
Yeah, I've already shot a music video. It's just sitting, actually just waiting for when the single.
Why is it? What?
Timing.
Oh,
you gotta get it.
The rollout and everything.
Yeah, the rollout. Yeah. So the album title is confirmed. It's called Tomorrowland. Obviously the songs aren't going to come 50 songs. Well, unless you Chris Brown, but yeah, come 50 songs on, I think. The first single is called Boss. The video shot. Jägermeister was really amazing because they sponsored the video, which is really dope. And the second single, because I might drop 2 singles at one time, is being confirmed. I'm just waiting for.
Whoa.
I'm waiting for an artist to.
That's crazy.
Come back to me with his verse. A certain artist. Yeah.
You've been working, hey?
I'm trying.
Like you've been putting in work, and I love to see it. I'm here for it.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. We're moving. I'm dropping next week, actually. Just a random song. Because we're still in COVID, I figured let me not hold on to the music.
To anything,
if I've got 50 fucking songs,
then give the people something to listen to.
In between, and it's a really dope song with a guy from Cape Town called Zooks. He produced a really dope song 2-3 weeks ago. It was like a flip of the remix. Yeah, you should check him out. This guy's Zooks FTW, something like that. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, yo, bro.
Hop on.
Fucking yeah. Luckily he was, cool enough to send me a whole beat pack next day. And then we made a song that I really think it's gonna be dope actually. It's called Who Won't Stop Me. It's very, very aggressive.
I'm looking forward to hearing the song.
I'll send it to you. I don't know why I didn't email you. Yeah,
please do. Thank you so much for coming through. I hope you come back even after you release your album.
Yeah, definitely. About
the rollout.
Yeah, well, once the album's dropped, I'm definitely.
Yeah, because I know you're not gonna have studio sessions that end at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a good break once I'm done with the recording. Now I'm gonna take a good break from making music because I also don't
making too much music.
Yeah, exhaust myself and become boring as well. And people always punk you in the studio. Yo, that shit's hot. I think I'm running out of those. Yo, that shit's hot. At some point, I'm with niggas. Niggas are also gonna be like, okay, dude, yeah. I mean, you've been recording for straight 2 years, but not everything is popping. Yeah, and it's just regenerate new ideas, new thinking, and new experiences
and new sound as well that you want to explore.
100%.
Where can people follow you and book you?
At number 2leeStark on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever it is. And then website is starkworld.co.za, and then music at starkworld.co.za for any sort of submissions. There are a lot of people that are actually asking me for tracks. I find it very weird because I'm like, yo, bro, I'm really I'm gonna come up as well. I don't know.
I'm also trying to.
I don't know what you want me to do, but we can.
But I feel like you're one of those people that, not that you sleep on yourself, but it's you're so humble in your approach that you don't get what the fuss is about because you're just like, dude, I'm 2leeStark.
I'm just like, yo, I mean, I'm a rapper, yeah, but I mean, I don't get it. But if you do have, send it through we'll look at it. There are a couple of features that I've been trying to work out now as well with a couple of artists. And don't ask me how much it costs. Because I don't charge for my things here.
You don't charge really?
Yeah, don't charge for my features. That thing is weird for me. I'll charge you once I know that.
It's hard for me not to call you a chakra gente. It's so hard for me not to call you a chakra gente.
I'm really not. But yeah, once I get to a stage where you paying for the feature is going to make you more money, I'll never charge for a feature right now. Any of my songs could blow or whatever, but there's no guarantee. If this guy's on this song and I charge you the 10,000.
You don't know if they're gonna make back then.
Yeah, 100%. Because that's robbery for me. It's a risk for them, and it's money for me. But that's not how I want my shit to be built. And I've never Les, for example, has never charged me for a feature. Reasons never charged me for a feature. The guy who might be doing that next single never he's not charging me for that feature. So who am I if the guys that I think are my musical heroes aren't charging me?
To charge people.
Why the fuck would I be charging people?
It's real recognizes real in this instance. And thank you so much for sharing that, because a lot of rising stars would assume, I need to come up with 50 G's to pay for this collaboration, but also energies and working and vision and goals also have a lot to do with reaching the stardom in South Africa.
Yeah. I mean, if your shit slaps, well, I'll definitely rock it. I'll definitely. So yeah, that's where you can find me. That's where I'm at online.
Thank you so much for being through, man.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate it so much once again.
I know you're gonna come back, but this is the Drop Hip Hop Uncensored, where we gave you all information, all the juice, all the tea on 2leeStark Uncensored. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow on Twitter and Instagram, the Drop Uncensored. Bona, tell your people to tell their people. My name is Rintintin, because I'm twice as nice. You're Black Barbie. Signing out.